Hello everybody, thank you for coming back to the channel and welcome to this new chapter in which I'm going to try to give the old Cub a new opportunity. If you remember or if you followed along, I tried a couple of times to do some taxi runs with it. Never managed to get it to take off. I then eventually was brave enough to launch it into the air and it crashed miserably. Then I did another take off from the ground attempt and it cartwheeled, it broke, I think a wheel came off, the windscreen, I don't know if you can see it, but it also kind of broke, and the tail assembly is also basically in shambles. I was using here the thin like fishing thread hinges and they did not hold out, so maybe I might use longer ones or might change it. But basically what I want to do now, because I think that from watching the videos and what I remember from the launch, it did not hold itself, it stalled directly, so it could have been an issue of the weight and balance, which I might also need to check up, but I have the feeling that the propeller was maybe giving too much torque. Now it's a small 3-bladed prop. I can switch it for a larger 2-bladed prop, hoping that will not have so much torque. I'm not sure actually if a 3-bladed propeller has more or less torque than a 2-bladed one. Maybe you let me know. But that's maybe also that's what I'm going to try to do. So try to fix it up. As you see, also the struts came apart. Windscreen, I might just take it off and leave it open because it was a difficult thing to set up, and on top of it broke. And especially most of the work I think is going to be needed on the tail assembly, so basically remove it all, rehinge it, put it back together and fix one of the wheels. I think the right wheel came off, I'm not sure, so I'm going to have to put it on the operation table and see what I can do with it. So I don't think it's going to be too much work. I think it's just going to be lying around for a while until I gather the courage once more to launch it into the air. And also I see that one of the ailerons actually got loose, so I might need to rethink all the hinges. So follow me along on this one, I'll update you as I come along. I hope this won't be too long of a video. Progress update on the Cub fixing. One thing that I didn't mention before is that in one of the landings or the crashes there was some internal damage with the wing fixing. So I took off the rubber bands, they were actually rotten, so I've taken it off. I've repaired those kind of the bits of balsa, here you can see some of them, bits of balsa that had splintered and broken off. I kind of replaced them where I think they were, and then I put in new rubber bands because the ones that were there, they were rotting away. One was surviving, but then I pulled it a little bit and it broke. The other one was completely rotten. What I've done then, I've taken off the windshield, so I've got it here. And I think I'm going to use it for something else now, but I'm probably going to leave it without the windshield for the moment. There are also some cracks here from the crash, so I've just put in some glue in there to try to fix them in place. But yeah, like it's pretty ugly, let's say, from that perspective. But yeah, like that's the progress on that. Then what else have I done? I fixed also the struts. I can't remember now which one it was. I think it was this one, so I've put it back in place, and I've taken off the aileron because this one was also with the fishing thread hinges, and it wasn't holding up well. I noticed also that on the other aileron I don't have those hinges. I have the small plastic ones, and what I've done also on the tail, let's see if I turn it around, I basically removed all the hinges because again there were the threads and it wasn't holding up. I do not have any more of these special hinges. I think it's called Mylar or something like that, so I'm thinking I'm going to use the windshield, even if it is a little bit breakable, let's say, as we saw. I'm going to cut some strips from there, so I'll put some for the right aileron, and I'll try to use it also maybe to have, I don't know how many I should put, maybe just 2 is enough, one on each side of the elevators, and then maybe 2 on the rudder, one at the top, one at the bottom. I'll see, maybe I'll go with simple, as long as it holds out. That's I think the important thing. So that's a bit, now it looks a bit wonky with the with the rudder and the elevator hanging at weird angles, but that's the next action then, now to in place putting new hinges. A bit of progress on the rebuild. So I've put in the aileron again. I'm using the remains of the canopy as hinges, and this seems to be okay. I'm putting it with super glue and I'm scuffing it up a little bit with sandpaper, as recommended by Cliff. And then I'm already working on the tail surfaces. It's a bit of a mess here, but I've managed to putting already the hinges on the elevator. Don't know if you can see it. There. And I've started to cut in the new holes for the hinges on the there, and I've got the hinges also on the rudder. Now what I figured out also, and I don't know if you can see it, is that you can't see it, the rudder, that you can see there through the window, the rudder push rod has come undone. So the control horn of the servo is loose, which on the other hand is maybe not bad because it allows me to move it up and down a lot, but this means I'm going to have to again take the wing off, which has its own complications because I have the hooks here and everything. So I've got to loosen the wing up and try to fix again that control horn, but that's one of the reasons why the wing is removable, right? So I'll use that, but before I do that, I'll go ahead and put all the control surfaces in place and then fix that up. So still a little bit to do, but I did some progress, and soon it'll be up on the shelf again, waiting for better days. So the fix up is pretty much done, I hope. I had to take the wing off again because I lost one of the control horns on the servos, and it's either lost there inside or I lost it completely. I'm not sure. I was shaking the plane a bit to see if I could hear it, but I couldn't. I've managed to glue in the control surfaces again, so now they're actually connected, so they won't move so freely. But I still have to try and see if the new connector and the new horn is working well. I've changed the propeller. It's a little bit of a wider circle but smaller, so I'm kind of hoping that's going to help, but I've really no idea about that. I did make some damage. I did cause some damage. Let's see if I can see it now. When removing the wing, yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but here somehow with the pliers trying to pull it off, I actually tore into the tissue, but I think I'm going to leave it like that. There's also another hole over there, as you can see, so it's strong in its way, but it's also delicate in its own way. So with the propeller then, as I say, I changed it over. It's a little bit fiddly. I had to use one of these plastic rings that come with the propellers. And that's actually my last orange propeller, so I might need to go and get some more. But now what I want to do, I do have the battery hatch off, and what I want to do, I want to connect it up. I'll start up the transmitter also, you might hear it in the background, and I'm going to have to select also the model because this is on something else. This is the Piper Cub, I believe. Select model, so it should be there. But now, first thing, let's plug in the battery. Hopefully the right way around. Okay, so far it sounds like friendly noises. Maybe I can keep it actually pointing back so we can see the surfaces. I'm not sure if it's connected or not. Let's see. Okay, so that's elevator. Seems to be working, which is good. Let's see the rudder. No, that's the aileron actually. Why is the aileron? Yeah, the aileron has to be there. So they might need some alignment. I got the feeling that the right aileron is pointing up a lot, so I might need to squeeze that down a little bit, and I do have the feeling that the wing isn't straight. It's too bad. I don't think this is going to fly. And then rudder, let's see the rudder. Not very much, is it? Maybe it's not really moving freely. Afraid of maybe a spot of glue or something maybe fell where it shouldn't have. as if I don't break anything or cut myself. So the rudder is not really working too well. There is some movement, but I don't think it's enough. So I'm going to have to figure that out a little bit, and then let's see also if the engine, if the motor actually turns well enough, or if it turns at all in the right direction. So let's see. Okay, yeah, it's turning, and it's turning in the right direction because it's pulling the airplane. So I think the motor is still touching on the cowling a little bit, so there's still some fixing to be done. There's also the issue with the rudder now, so I have to try to figure that out. And other than that, I would say it's ready to go up and go back into storage and await its fate with a new Maiden. But looking at how crooked it all is and everything, I'm not very inspired that it will work actually. But in any case, I'm going to leave it there. I'll get an attempt at it at some time. I hope to record the failure so that you can all enjoy it. And now I'll move on to other projects. So thank you everybody for watching and for following along, and I'll see you next time.